اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق والخاتم لما سبق ناصر الحق بالحق وهذه إلى صراط المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره مقداره العظيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. الحمد لله رب العالمين، أفضل الصلاة وتم تسليما على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. ورضي الله تعالى عن هذا السادة التابعين علماء عاملين وأئمة أربعة مجتهدين مقلديهم إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، الحمد لله رب العالمين. This is the 27th night of Shahr Ramadan for those who started fasting uh, on the 13th of, uh, of April. We're in May, so we're dwindling down. We have uh, three more days left. We have 3 more days left, or 3 more nights left of Ramadan. And inshallah ta'ala, we looking for the last 10 days of Ramadan, last 10 nights, we're looking for the night of Qadr, the night of decree, not, well, quote unquote, the night of power. Alhamdulillah, it's the night where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down the Quran. But this reflection is not so much so just on the night of power, but it's a little bit about um, what something that I've learned about the Surah Al-Qadr, uh, Surah Al-Qadr, the 97th Surah of the Quran. Not gonna read. Um, I'm not giving a tafsir. What I'm giving is not a tafsir. This is from a lesson that I remember learning from a teacher who, in fact, one of my main teachers was in this dars with me, and a few other brothers that I come up with. Some of them are on my page, my Facebook page, and they was present as well. This was like, I want to say, 24 years ago, and so if I miss something, please forgive me. Um, my memory is my memory is still kind of good, but it's not as well as it was 23 years ago. And I'm not sure if the brothers who was in that class with me that are on my page are in the group, in this group. If not, then inshallah ta'ala, I'm gonna add them because this is beneficial, and this will be a course of reminiscence for them as well as myself. This class was given um, at a time when the Iman organization in Chicago was just really like starting up. They actually like started up in like '95. It was just doing the groundwork. Um, the brother who was the director or the founder of Iman, uh, Rami Neshashibi, uh, I was working with him during that time, and getting Eman started. In fact, a few of a few of the first few brothers that I was able to assist him with in approaching and aiding and trying to get them back on that get them on their dean. They was mukallaf at the time, but they was very young. They was like teenagers, and Rami and I was in our 20s, in our early 20s. So like now, you know what I'm saying, we old man, got children, grand wives, children, grandchildren. I don't know if he had any grandchildren. I know I got grandchildren. But not to digress. But the man used to have this program like either it was every Saturday or it was every 2 Saturdays of the month. It was called a Bonds of Brotherhood program. And in this program, we would all the brothers would come together. We'll be at a particular masjid. At that time, when the program was just being started, it was only two masjids at that time that the program was being held in. Masjid al Qadr, who masjid out one of the masjids that I come up with that I was at one time the assistant imam and the imam there, and the wazir and Naib of, what I'm saying, my main teacher, one of my main teachers. Um, it will be at Masjid al-Qadir and at Masjid Kaaba. At Masjid Kaaba, not the Masjid Kaaba that was on Cottage Grove, but when Masjid Kaaba opened up on 75th Street, which was it was the old Masjid, the first Masjid, the old Masjid al-Qadir, and one before Masjid al-Qadir moved to 79th and Kingston. Right now, what used to be Master Cardi on 79th and Kingston is the El Furqan Dawah Center. And this is not to digress, but it was a brother who came, uh, who Rami invited to give a lecture at the Bonds of Brotherhood program. And he gave the lecture right before what um, I used to like to call the Hamza Yusuf hour, right? Because at a certain time of the hour of us doing itikaf, it'd be nothing but brothers there. We have food, conversating with Prekian Malaya. So we had what I call the Hamza Yusuf hour. Used to listen to Hamza Yusuf lectures, video lectures. And this was during the time when Hamza Yusuf was like real political, militant, very outspoken. He's outspoken now, but he was very like outspoken and real serious. I mean, so um, fiery. You know, at that time, I really didn't like Hamza Yusuf. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really like. As a matter of fact, I really don't like anyone um, who are put up as a scholar or a da'i until someone criticizes them. And once I hear criticism about them and all, and it's serious or whatever or not serious, then I began to like them. I began to like them after that. You know, so anyone who's like who be like praising and all of that, I don't pay it any mind until I hear criticism. Because to me, if this person is as great as people say they are, and he doesn't have criticism, someone not criticizing him, he's not great. He can't be that great at all to me. So I won't even pay him no mind or even like him. So anyway, the sheikh going over the uh he was going over Surah Al-Qadr, and what was outside of the tafsir, separate from the tafsir, there's a number of tafsirs that's on late on of Quran. But what he was given, he was like given like a description of Surah Al-Qadr as being like the meaning in regards to uh, prophecy. Like for example, he was saying that he has said that, and if anything that I say is incorrect, or you know what I'm saying, because this was during a time where when I learned from someone, I trusted what I was being taught. I didn't question it. Um, I'm still kind of like that. I trust what I'm being taught, and I kind of like pour out my cup of milk and let and refill it. So it's like I've always, Allah Ta'ala has always blessed me to be able to learn something new, to learn something new. So what he was saying, he said that uh, Surah Al-Qadr, in Surah Al-Qadr, it's the prophecy was prophesied about Surah Al-Qadr. Surah Al-Qadr is actually prophesied in the Quran, and it's explained. It's talking about the Quran. One, he says that the Quran was when Allah Ta'ala sent down sent down the Quran. He sent it down all at once in the preserved tablet, the Lawhul Mahfuz, and then from there, Lawhul Mahfuz and the preserved tablet um, to the Baytul Izzah. It's in the house of might, which is in one of the heavens of this earth, one of the lower heavens. However, is that the Laylatul Qadr, I mean, Surah Al-Qadr, it consists of 114 letters. Okay, he said that the 114 letters is prophesied and that the Quran will have 114 chapters. And in Surah Al-Qadr, it has um, 30 words. And this is like this having 30 words is prophesied that the Quran will be in 30 parts. It will have 30 parts, like it's 30 juz of the Quran. Now, when I heard this, I paid, and it's because one of my main teachers was there, one of the teachers I learned everything from. Fiqh, Hadith, Quran. I had to we traveled together, we lived together. Um, so we was close. We're not as we kind of like grew apart. We're not as close as we used to be. Keeping contact with each other sparingly. However, Allah Ta'ala blessed me to benefit much from him. You know what I'm saying? He's in the list of my many teachers that I have, and he will always be considered one of my main teachers. Okay, so I paid attention to him. He didn't if he didn't raise many questions at all, especially in regards to what the brother was related to what he was relating to Surah Al-Qadr. So because he didn't raise any questions, I didn't even bother, and I didn't even bother to bring up any discussion later on down the line about what the brother was relating about Surah Al-Qadr. However, uh, this surah is it's a beautiful surah, and for there's other surahs that's like it that aside from the tafsir, it prophesies certain things. Like for example, Surah Al-Nasr. Surah Al-Nasr, when Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, when he reveals, when Surah Al-Nasr was revealed to him, this surah prophesied, it was actually prophesizing the death of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And he had explained this to Fatima when he was given breaking down Surah Al-Nasr to Fatima Zahra alayhi salam radiallahu anha, and she began to cry. And then he told her, this was in a whisper, and he told her that you will be the first from my ummah to follow me after I return to Allah. And then she smiled. So that you know what I'm saying. So like Surah Al-Nasr, Surah Al-Qadr, it was prophesizing the completion and prophesizing uh, the whole of the Quran. You know, what I'm saying the Quran was going to be revealed. It's going to have 114 surahs. It's going to have 30 parts. The Quran was revealed in 23 years in sections. Um, the night of decree is the night where Allah Subhanahu wa Taala said in another in another ayah Well, Allah Ta'ala says, "Inna anzalnahu fi laylatil mubarakat." Said we have sent it down on a blessed night. It said on this blessed night, it's talking about Laylatul Qadr or Al Qadr, the night of Qadr. That this night is where all of the matters decree. Allah Ta'ala decrees every matter for that year. All the matters of death, all the people who's gonna die is sent down. All the people who's gonna be born, everyone's provisions, everyone who is afflicted with calamities for the whole year, as decreed by Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. Now, in regards to as it relates to death and birth, when a person's provision, all of a person's provisions is in this world is cut off, then shortly the angel of death comes to take his soul, because once you have no more provisions in this life, there's no more need for you to be. You have no. It's not necessary for you to be here anymore. So your soul is taken. In regards to calamities that's destined to befall you, every calam every calamity that's destined to befall you is going to take place, whether they're severe calamities or less calamities. And in regards to calamities, all calamities are not necessarily uh, tragic accidents or death or loss of wealth or loss of it's some calamities are spiritual calamities, and some calamities are mental calamities. So even in the calamity, there's mercy. Even in the calamity, there's some for the believer. There's still benefits that he can receive in the calamity. The key to welcoming the calamity is that we're patient. We have sabr. We have not only patience, but we have contentment. Contentment is a little bit more than it's a little bit more than patience. It's the proof of your sabr. So this is all I wanted to discuss in Ramadan Reflections, and that so this is the 27th night of Ramadan, and we're looking for the night of Qadr, and the best way we can look for the night of Qadr in the last 10 days of Ramadan is that we look for it every night. So we recite the dua that the Prophet ﷺ taught us to recite. Allahumma innaka afuwwun tuhibbu afu anni. Uh, Recite that dua every night, looking for Laylatul Qadr, looking for the night of power. When Ramadan starts, some people when Ramadan started, some people started on one day, and some people started fasting the next day. However, when the month starts, is where you count and you look for the last 10 days, last 10 nights. It doesn't matter if they started uh, on the 12th or they started on the 13th. It doesn't change when the night of power starts. You look for it starting at the 20th day or 20th night or the 21st night, all the way to Eid al-Fitr until we see the Hilal for Shawwal. So definitely, if you're praying every night, Qiyam al-Layl, and you praying Taraweeh, you making dhikr, you making dua, and you're in itikaf or you're not in itikaf, but you're not in itikaf, but you maintain in this tartib, this muraqabah of dhikr, Quran, praying in the night, Tarawih, all the way to the last to the first night of Shawwal, you guaranteed to catch Laylatul Qadr. You guaranteed to catch the night of decree. There's no way that you could miss it. Impossible. One of the things that's impossible to miss if you're doing this all last 10 days of the month of the last 10 nights of the month of Ramadan. Guaranteed to catch it. Many people you hear that they say there's no guarantees. Well, this is one of them incidents, one of them situations where there's a guarantee that you're gonna catch the night of power if you're doing this ibadah all every night. So, subhanaka Allahumma bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati ma yasifun. Assalamu ala mursaleen. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulil kareem. Ameen.